Gonna be a box in a box. Show you the bottle right now. It doesn't really, yeah, okay now. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is CeeChronicles and I post fragrance related content on this platform. If you're joining me for the very first time, please do consider subscribing. Costs absolutely nothing but helps with the growth of the channel. Also remember to hit the like and share button, as those are also helpful in ensuring that our videos get to a wider audience. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have 3 Lattafas in front of me. I did unbox these ones with you, and I said I was going to play around with them and then come back to you with reviews. So we're going to start with Lattafa Jouri, okay, this particular one, right? I like the packaging. Look, Lattafa didn't just stop on just a plain pink. They went on to decorate the inside and, you know, flowers and stuff. Really, really beautiful. Lattafa doesn't joke when it comes to presentation. Now, anyway, let me waste a couple of sprays for you here and tell you my thoughts. This is not first impressions, okay? And I intentionally bought this because it is said to be inspired, of course, by La Bomba, or smells a lot like La Bomba, right? And when it comes to La Bomba by Carolina Herrera, we've been given renditions like Paris Corner Fayora or Shino, yes, and I think Kiana something from Afnan. Now, I feel there is a little bit of some subtleness in this fragrance, which actually works. I have sprayed La Bomba multiple times. It was a fragrance that I was willing to buy full size, or, you know, minis or whatever it is, because a beautiful bottle, that butterfly and stuff. But there is a patchouli and a tonka mix in La Bomba that does a little bit too much, something that I do not necessarily get in this. And that same patchouli mixing with that tonka and really like giving a push and pull is the reason why I ended up decluttering my Fayora Oshino by Paris Corner. This is a beautifully done mix of what feels like La Bomba, you know, giving shine to that dragon fruit, and then you're going to get the cherry and there's a raspberry, and those give a burst to this that is really sweet, fun, and subtle to the nose, which is, I think, where the differences are with this. However, yes, there is that umbrella where we can say if you love La Bomba, you're most likely going to love this. But to me, I feel as though this is more of an inspiration than trying to be a clone, if you will, because I do not get the headiness that I get in La Bomba in this. It is sweet, but it doesn't get to that sticky sweetness that I got from La Bomba when I tried it and some of the inspirations on the market. It gets into a soft, rosy feel there in the mid. There's also a use of frangipani in here, which perhaps could be the one that's making this, you know, overall subtleness about this fragrance. And yeah, I like it. And with this line from the Lattafa guys, this Jouri, they gave us Sakina, Haya, and another one. I had all 3. So if I had kept all 3, this would be the 4th. So for those who are seeing this, this is a continuation of that line from Lattafa. Now, before I move on to the next 2 that I want to talk about, guys, we have a sale going on for Proud Mary Extrait de Parfum. This is from Masedon Perfumes. You can grab it now for $124.99 through Labor Day, and you can still use my code C10 at checkout, so you get to save money. Full price, or the retail price for Proud Mary Extrait de Parfum, is $149.99. It was our flagship fragrance, the very first one we created as Masedon Perfumes. This is of an extrait concentration and is 120 ml. And then we released a Numéro 2. Numéro 2 is also of an extrait concentration. We used the French name Numéro 2, but it's number 2. So we have Numéro 2, and these 2 are still in stock in case you want to buy them as a jewel, right? You can buy them right here on YouTube by clicking the store link or the pop-up on the side, or going to macedonperfumes.com. We are also now on our 3rd release, guys, which is Numéro 3. Numéro 3 is sold out, but do not worry, this is coming back soon. I'll keep you guys posted. And thank you so much to everybody who is and continues to support the brand Masedon Perfumes. We started from scratch, guys, and thank you so much. Now, moving on to the next Lattafa that I want to talk about. This is of the Cities line, okay? And when I saw this, it kind of reminded me of the Bonds, not in terms of packaging, but in terms of Love in Paris. You know, I think the Bond number 9s have got like the series, New York, Fifth Avenue, that sort of thing. Fragrance du Bois, they've got the Cities line. So this is a fragrance I wanted to add to my collection, okay? It is Love in Paris off the Lattafa Pride collection, and the Lattafa Pride collection is the one that does the most. Look, there's going to be a pamphlet there of what to expect, what is coming, some that we have already been given. The box is actually wood, okay? So this is reusable for those who do not want to throw away the box. The bottle is huge, okay? It kind of reminds me of the Mahajan gold and silver bottle. So let us waste a couple of sprays. Again, this is not first impressions, but I'm going to tell you my thoughts, okay? And these are fragrances that are not necessarily new. These have been about the block. I just happen to have them here and now. Now, this fragrance reminds me of a lot of other fragrances I've smelled on the market, especially fragrances centered on that caramel note. That's what's going to slap you the most, you know, when it comes to Love in Paris. So caramel pop is what you're going to get right there at the top, guys. And then it gets into this maple syrup, and it then at that point asserts itself as a sweet scent. It has a use of the apple, and the apple kind of gives it that familiarity to other fragrances, like a little bit of, let's say, Angel's Shea Paradise, a little bit of, I'm not going to use their Khamra because Khamra is a little bit too heavy on a spicy bit, which is something that I don't get in this. This one becomes ambery, although spicy, because it does use, of course, the tonka, but the tonka in here is sweetened. It has a sweetness about it where it kind of feels like a standalone, if I have to be honest, okay? Because 1 minute you're going to get a sticky sweetness, and you're thinking, oh, is it taking like the Angel's Shea Paradise direction? And you're like, no, but this is not it, okay? Is it on the rocks? No, it's not on the rocks, okay? Then you sniff it again like this, and you're like, why is it now reminding me of Bianco Latte, you know? But it's not creamy, like it's, so this is a nice, sweet, unisex fragrance. I like it a lot. I like the fact that in as much as it is a sweet fragrance, it doesn't get to a point of cloying or annoying, you know, or trying too much to be a gourmand. So it is safe. It does also incorporate the note of patchouli, but patchouli here is just giving us like a subtle earthiness without it taking this to a green direction. And as I said, the tonka here also feels sweetened. Okay, so this is going to be, in a nutshell, your caramel burst of a fragrance with that apple accord, you know, kind of lingering around there, entering into, again, another sweetness of that maple syrup, and then it gets ambery, and then it gets a little bit spicy, and it's safe, and it's unisex, and it's sweet. Okay, this, again, I can see somebody who loves fragrances like drunken lovers, okay, buying, want to stand out, perhaps liking this DNA. So yeah, enough said about this. The longevity is also great, okay. I like that with Lattafa, these two especially, they didn't push it to beast mode heavy where you kind of have to think of what weather you need to wear them in. These to me, fragrances that you can wear all year round, okay? And this, though it has that sweetness, does not also cross over to becoming like sticky sweet like what we got in Mansera's, you know, Amor Latte, something like that, or Amor Cafe, whichever. So anyway, enough said, guys. I love this one. I absolutely love it. I think it's a winner. It's a winner together with Jouri, all right? The last one, though, is the one I'm going to say is a 50-50. Let me just show you. I'm going to put things to the side, right? Oh, in case I didn't show you, the packaging for those who are new for the Lattafa Pride collection is going to be a box in a box, right? So if you buy it and you see this, it is the same thing, all right? So that's out of the way. So the last one, guys, is going to be New York. This one's packaging being blue is one I looked at with a side eye, but I bought it anyway because I was saying to myself, I hope it's not going to be another extension to the Ex Nihilo Blue Talisman or something. Okay, so This is the packaging. Okay, New York, it says City of Dreams. It doesn't just end at New York, and this is what to expect. Now, what drew me to this was the mention of the note of cherry. Okay, so that is where I wanted to see what direction this fragrance is going to take, more so that it's packaged in a blue box, right? I'm going to show you the bottle right now. It doesn't really, yeah, okay, now it's clipped. Okay, this blue thingy. Okay, so I was just saying to myself, okay, this is a fragrance that incorporates the note of booze, and it also incorporates, you know, that cherry. Okay, so how is this going to play out? Yet Lattafa have packed it in a blue presentation. Now, this is also a nice one. Okay, and I cannot wait for Lattafa to give us perhaps the minis of the Cities line, because with the Cities line, the two that I have here, like, you know, they were sort of going the direction of the Western nose. These fragrances can easily be seen as crowd-pleasing. The two that I'm showing you here, the Love in Paris and New York City of Dreams, okay? Easily crowd-pleasing, not doing too much, not, you know, heavy. This one does make use of the nutmeg and some black pepper there, but it's mostly a soft, almost fresh-like scent with a cherry that's really not trying too much to assert itself as I am a cherry fragrance. Okay, so this is not going to have that cherry that pushes it over, you know, to becoming sort of like cough syrupy or something, but there is like a cherry waft, okay, wafts of a cherry in this soft cherry, and then there's a little bit of some sweetness, despite the fact that this one also does use a note of booze, because they have listed the note of cognac in this. Again, this is one that I cannot tell you whether it's an inspiration or not. For now, I'm going to say this does feel like it is a standalone, or at least if it is an inspiration, it's not an inspiration of something that I have in my collection, all right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think this one I did check last week or so. These two have been pointed out as inspirations to some mind games, and if they are, then it is what it is. But I was here to just tell you my thoughts as is. I do not have either of the mind games that were compared with the two fragrances, so I cannot say whether they're not inspirations or they are, okay? But I can certainly tell you that both of these fragrances were a winner. I had been looking at this with a side eye, but it did indeed impress me. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's soft. It's got that light cherry accord about it, and a little bit of some freshness. It's unisex. It's safe for both genders. I just wish that the bottles perhaps were not too intimidating. So yeah, that's what I had for you guys. Remember, as Masedon Perfumes, we're running a sale for Proud Mary. It's going for $124.99. You can purchase it right here on YouTube or on our website, www.masedonperfumes.com, through Labor Day, okay? And you can still use my code C10. We also have the bundle package, where you can buy both and save money. And as for toi, I'm going to keep you posted when we restock, as long as you keep your eyes on the channel, or also do well by perhaps subscribing to our newsletter as Masedon, because that's where we have all the latest updates. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure doing this video for you. I hope the review was helpful. And also remember, guys, that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.